Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again. Another moment, an opportunity for us to come together, for us to share, for us to encourage self discipline, and to see it. Hey. I heard myself for a second there. And to see it as a form of self love, like deep self love, that you don't discipline, right? You don't focus on things. You don't start showing up for something because you have to, because you're s- freaking, punishing yourself with this effort, but that you're doing it from this perspective of loving yourself, right? Loving yourself so much that you don't want to tolerate anything less than excellence. And it can be a little bit much sometimes as well. So we will kind of touch on the other side of that fractal. But, but, love you. We will embrace a little bit more discipline every day, right? Even if that discipline is just something mental, right? Your ability to weather storms, your ability to feel a little bit more present when you're losing it a little bit. Let's see if I can put this back even further. There we go. Yeah. I feel like that's nice. Joy Beef, I see you, friend. I see. Wait a second. Okay, there it is. I see Shan as well. I see Brother Corey. So nice having you here with me. I see Brother Catriot, Brother Dan as well. Melt, you look fluffy today. I feel a little bit fluffy. I showered earlier than I normally do. I usually have like a very set schedule. Things happen at exactly the same time every single day. And today, things happen differently. So my hair has been dry for an extended period of time. The longer my hair gets to be dry for, the crazier it chooses to become. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna give us chance to crazy? Well, crazy, yo. Good morning, dear brother. I'm doing a PowerPoint teaching on how to play Sudoku. Where are you offering it, Brother Dan? Thank you for sharing with us that you're going to do that. How long ago was the last time I played a game of Sudoku? Yo, must have been upwards of a decade ago, actually. Maybe I should learn how to play again. So much love is being shared. Sam, it's nice having you here, friend. Mm. Stephanie, Stephanie Mills here. Yeah, there she is. So much love. Amara hasn't been sleeping well either. Corey, I felt slightly off too. I also didn't sleep much last night. Right? We can be like, oh yeah, I also didn't sleep well, or it was probably the LSD I took. That was probably what did it. A little bit. And yesterday's experience was very much cathartic. I didn't really feel like I was experiencing anything outside of consciousness or larger than my consciousness. I felt I was just very entrenched in my consciousness, deeply fascinated with this life we're choosing to live, deeply fascinated with this fractal we're showing up for. Hey, Jacob! Jacob! Dude! Jacob! Didn't I think we talked about Jacob, what, like 2 days ago? It's a trip seeing you here, dude. Love you, friend. It's so nice having you. Things have changed. Look at how far the stream is away from me. I can't even touch the screen. But I've got microphones to speak into your ears all the way from here. And I also have a visual medium to read your comments without having to reach forward. Jacob, it's nice having you here again, dude. How have you been? How has discipline been shaping your life, or even the lack of discipline? Right? Not trying to call you out first thing. First thing. It's like, yeah, how about that discipline, huh, Jacob? It's like, oh, bro, please, oh, please. What did I do to deserve this? We love you, Jacob. It's nice seeing you. Yash. Coming in with a dab as well. You're growing too. Sam, we all are. Seriously, you friends. Your friends have shown me, yeah, you have shown me a reason to become disciplined, right? I do believe I want to be disciplined from a place of self love, but it's almost like being disciplined just for myself isn't all it's made out to be. Damn retrograde, them retrogrades, yeah, always getting the best of us, Corey. Oh man, weirdly enough, even Christian, Joe Schmo, it's been a while, sending you love. Christian, yesterday, after we had like that windy day, and like I was sharing like the depth of the trip I was going through, kind of like stepping into this new creative journey I'm embarking upon. And then Christian posts, I don't know if it was really a poem, more like a short piece on whispers in the wind. And I was like, yeah, of course. And I was like thinking to myself, did Christian watch the stream and then choose to publish that? But it's probably just perfectly in sync. If I'll see if I can at least find one on Insight Timer and share it. Please do. Any insights you have to share, share with all of us, please. Might be a little bit crazy, but I think the weather has something to do with it. Everything has something to do with everything else. How about that for the trip, right? Everything begets everything, right? It's like a fractal of itself. So be okay with the everything you'll experience throughout this life. Maybe that's the lesson, if anything, is. Oh, the mosquitoes are like, oh wait, dude, I see you have barren legs. It would be a shame if someone come and ate your skin and stuffs, wouldn't they? Uh, Jacob says, oh my, look at you. I've been doing great. I've actually gotten back to the gym 3 days a week, and a good I've gained a good health, I'm guessing. I've gained good health. 25 pounds, and I'm no longer a skeleton. Jacob, dude, that's some discipline, man. You see, like, I'm so happy that I get to connect with this exact fractal with you, because if you were like, oh, Mel, I haven't been disciplined and I've been beating myself up about that, I would have probably, sympathized with you, kind of resonated even, that I've also been tripping out about the same thing. But I'm proud of you, friend. Thank you for being dedicated, for being disciplined with your weight gain journey. I've been on the exact opposite loop where I want to lose 25 pounds again. I weighed in 77 kilograms today, so I'm down 9 kilograms. So already down 20 pounds. Oh my goodness. Oh my, I've already lost 20 pounds. No. No, okay, yeah, my math is wrong. I've lost 7 kilograms times 0.45, right? So about 13 pounds. It's been a process of trying to be a little bit more kind with myself, a process of being disciplined. Oh, so much discipline, dude. And I know I'm supposed to have discipline. Hey, Crystal, it's nice having you, friend. That if I don't have discipline, nothing discipline is going to happen. But yeah, dude, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of both of us. I'm proud of all of us as a community, as a space. Joe, I'm happy you're growing, Mel. Thank you, Jacob. We all are, friend. I feel like it's inevitable. It really is inevitable that we will grow. I just think the real question is, in which direction do we want to grow? Right? Because it's very much possible for us to grow more jaded, grow angry, grow more confused, grow apathetic, grow cynical. And yet, this space has shown me that regardless of the amount of nonsense we experience in the outside world, we can still grow our ability to love. Like, seriously, grow our ability to love. Like, I'm thinking about the fact that throughout the time that we've been streaming, the stuff that's been happening in Iran has transpired. The war in Ukraine started. I believe there was some other catastrophe as well. Like we had friends freezing in Texas during this whole process. Like the amount of stuff, so much stuff that we experienced. To find ourselves again in this moment, taking a few seconds of tranquility for ourselves, calm, gentleness. Congrats on the weight loss. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jovan, for saying all of the love. Missed you in yoga this morning. Just so that you know that I missed you. Not that I'm like, I gave myself the night off from working out and I went to bed early. I'm proud of you. Joy V, thank you for sleeping well, friend. I also think today is going to be a little bit more of a lax day. Yesterday, I ended up doing in excess of 100 pull ups, only like 30 push ups. I did a lot of pull ups. I did pull ups to the point where this muscle, the place that connects to my elbow, started hurting again. And I was like, okay, maybe I should chillax a little bit. I'm also eating again, which is nice. I am eating food. Yay. I made myself some eggs, some chicken, some green beans, and some butter today. I'm gonna make myself. I like literally cut a 50-gram, like it's a block like that, 50-gram block of butter. And then I drop it in my coffee. And then I stick blender it so I can get my fats in. I'm doing keto. It's working. It really is working. And I feel clear. And I don't feel hungry. I don't feel hungry. That's the biggest thing for me. Is like my cravings are non-existent because I feel like I have the energy that I need. I don't feel like this. So a part of me feels a little bit of a explosiveness has been reduced, right? But my consistency has been improved. Does that make sense? Right? Where like sugar can be like wah wah wah. The keto is more like right? And like maybe a little bit higher as a threshold. So even though I might not be, at least for now, as energetic or explosive with my movement, I feel like I can at least trust the amount of energy I have to do any given task, to show up for the things that I have disciplined myself to, if you will. One of the great things about living alone is never having to explain why I'm going to bed at 6:30. This is true. I can't even think when the last time was when I went to bed that early. Part of me wants to get to bed like around 8-ish tonight. Catch up on some sleep. Start doing some of the things I want to be more disciplined with. Filming. Filming is the hardest part of this whole content creation process. Oh goodness. It makes me cringe to death. So much cringe. Feeling like on a very visceral level, this experience of there's 7 of them. Let's see how many of them I can call. One of them is self criticizer. You're not good enough. One of them is a perfectionist. This isn't going to be the way you want it to be perfectly. Then is the negative Nancy that is like, oh, that's not very interesting, is it? Who's going to want to watch that? Then there is the instant gratification dude who is like, yeah, I could do this thing or I could do anything else. And all of these other things are so much easier to do. I could just sit down and smoke weed instead. Why would I want to do work? And there is uh, mm, I think a bee just flew into me. What's the other ones? At least for myself, imposter syndrome, I think, is one of them as well. As Jovan has aptly called it, imposter monster, which I really like. This part of ourselves that tells us that we're not this thing, right? Like one of the biggest aspects of myself that I've noticed for me to really get disciplined in doing something. Hey, yeah, you, it's Bex, it's nice having you, is to become identified with the thing I want to be disciplined with, right? So exercise for me has become easy because that's something I do. I exercise, not because I need to, but because I like to, and because it gives me energy more than it takes energy from me, right? It has become a self identity. These streams, the yoga, my flowers have become a self identity. And it's easy for me to be disciplined with them now. But to apply that discipline to more and more aspects of our lives can be daunting, right? Part of me thinks about the trip of, can our discipline run out? You know, is there a limit on how much discipline I can be? And if so, how am I supposed to be distributing my discipline? The things I've ultimately tried to be disciplined with, at least going forward, I'm going to really make an effort again, is eating whole foods. I want to be disciplined to that. Writing in my journal. I want to be disciplined with that. Exercising, disciplined with that. And then making art, drawing. I want to be disciplined with that as well. I think those are the fundamentals. Duck Dad is here with us to create a workflow for a video to make it easier. That's not a bad idea, actually. Like, I feel a shot list, right, would make it a lot easier if I know what I'm supposed to shoot. Because a part of me likes the creative aspect of it, but a part of me also, you know, doesn't like the fact that in order for me to film with the lenses that are actually good, I have to frame my shot, get into my shot while filming myself. Stop being in the shot, walk around, stop filming myself, watch the part of myself that I just filmed, gauge whether or not that is an appropriate frame for me to be in. And then the filming can commence. And I'm running a bunch of parallel simulations, to say it in so many words. One of the simulations is making more meditation content. That's going to definitely be something I do more of this year. Making potentially standalone videos where I'll go into some nuanced topics, maybe a little bit more. So, like more scripted content that I'll, like, for each bar of script, I'll have like a different camera angle, keep changing it up. Another fractal that I'm rendering is almost like space creation. I think Leslie, Lady Moirai, that used to stream on Reddit. I don't know if she still streams. She used her and Citron. Was that her name? The French girl also streaming on Arpan. They would do this thing where they would just stream themselves working, right? And the intention thereof was turn this on as like something to be kind of in your space, gentle, not distracting, hopefully, potentially encouraging even. Maybe it will help you create more discipline. Those are the immediate ones. So I feel like I have somewhat of a workflow being formed in my brain. It's just about actually executing right now. That's the limiting factor. Told myself I wouldn't smoke yesterday. Then I went to bed, and when I got home from work, I just fast forwarded through the whole day. Didn't smoke though. I'm proud of you, Jovan. I didn't even say it, but that's also one of the things that I've disciplined myself to right now is smoking less. Right? In fact, I have gone so far within the understanding of reducing or increasing resistance. I took my grinder, I took my lighter, I took my pipe, I took my jar of weed, and I put it all away in another room in a drawer. And I was like, yeah, stay there. I'm not gonna be smoking weed. I wanna like, and you know what my biggest inspiration is Gob. Gob has been a massive inspiration and encouragement in that, where I feel, and I've noticed this in myself, and it's wisdom from our beloved Terence McKenna as well. And Gob is now also a personal advocate for this understanding that smoking only once a week can allow the experience to be a little bit more special. All right. I think special is the right word. It's like you allow for more significance by doing it less. It's almost like all of the significance gets concentrated into that one day. Did you say Impasta Monster? That's brilliant. That's your ones. I can take absolutely no credit for that whatsoever. Duck Dad, again, it's nice having you here. You outstanding flesh vehicles. Congratulations, Jovan. I wouldn't be surprised if Max Headroom popped off his shirt. If Max Headroom popped off his shirt. Max Headroom? Like, from a filming perspective, Headroom is this to me, right? I don't know if you're talking about that Headroom. Oh, meow meow. It's a meow meow meow. Mm-mm. Oh, you meow. What a metaphor. I like. With, there's a metaphor. I like for forming habits and neural pathways. It's like creating a footpath on grass, which gets indented over time and then leads the way. I feel like discipline carries you through when willpower fails. Yeah, I agree, Joy Vive. I do agree, right? And it's almost like when you become disciplined. And I feel, unfortunately, and this might be a pain point even, and discipline is almost like a curse word in our society. Like we don't actually want to be disciplined in the way we perceive the word discipline. And to add to the fractal of that, unfortunately, in order to be really disciplined, we're going to have to set out time. We're gonna have to set out some time. Comedy Goo, I was just talking about you. Oh, like seconds ago, I was talking about you. Talking about how disciplined you've been, dude. Now you've been inspiring me to be more disciplined myself. I put away all of my marijuana smoking paraphernalias. So the resistance, is this the right word? I guess so. Resistance or um, what's that word hiding? Friction. The friction. The friction has been increased. And like I've only been smoking like after stream. That's also been like a thing. So I've been postponing to not even smoke on stream and only to do it afterwards. But even if I do it afterwards, it feels like I don't get to be fully present. I can still make art, but a part of me feels like I might be, I don't know if hurting myself necessarily. It might make me more creative, but right now I don't need creativity. Right now I need discipline. Because I feel I have enough creativity. Discipline is the thing that I need to really be focusing on. So, thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration, dear friends. Mm, I'm super duper proud of sleeping 10 hours. Siobhan, I would potentially do bad things to get a nice, uninterrupted 10 hours. Honor that sleep for me. Oh, Duck Dad. Goodness, my friend. You do have kids. Well, kid. I feel like 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep is probably not in the cards for you anytime soon. Not trying to discourage you, but I'm also gonna vicariously sleep 10 hours for you when I get the chance. Again, Gab, what were you saying? Just talking about discipline. Jovan shared that she's been, pulling away from the excessive smoking of weed as well. Told herself she doesn't want to smoke on that day and didn't. I've also been going through the same fractal, and I've said this before, and I did. Like, look at the last few streams. I haven't been smoking on stream, and I haven't been smoking before streams as well. But still, even even if I only keep my smoking to the last few hours of my day, with the amount of discipline I want to be implementing in my life, those few hours matter, unfortunately, as well. No 1 hour is more than that. Did you like that actually, Joy Vive? Film. I feel like the only resistance I have to that is again the creativity, right? I can see the discipline of going through the fractal of filming them, but then what what then, right? Am I gonna be like coming close up to the animals, giving them scritches, maybe saying their name, maybe like sharing an insight, talking about the fact that, yeah, sure, we're going through all of these hectic shiznesses in the world right now, but look at Pippi chewing on a stick. Maybe you should be more like Pippi. No. But so even though that might be a cute video, then what, right? Is it scalable? Can I continue making videos like that? Thank you. I'm putting it in the catalog. I've thought about it as well. I have Joy V, but I thought about it in the perspective of every single time I finish streaming and I put my things away, Pippi wants to play. And then she has this hanging rope that I kind of swing her around on. And I was like, yeah, this would be a cute piece of content, but it would be repetitive, right? It would be repetitive because it would be the same thing unless I make it different. And then I'm painfully aware that technically this is the exact same thing to that as well. But you friends and your influence and the topic we show up in makes this stream, even though it's same, it's a little bit different. We're a little different. What were you saying? You could film the animals. There we go. Now I'll be feeling grounded by the opportunities I've been given, honoring the mamas and papas and the chit chat. Thank you, Javan. It's like he sensed Mel talking about him. He does. Gob is just as ever present as all of us, right? He is the Omnigob. The Omnigob. That sounds. What do you think about that, Gob? The Omnigob. I kind of like it. Gabbity schwabby. I do need more discipline at work. If I'm being honest, I have let some things pile up. Yeah, I feel what you're saying, right? And yet at the same time, it's a little bit of a lie, right? Like email, for example, was supposed to make information transfer exponentially easier. It was letters, actual letters sent back and forth. Then it was fax machines, and then we went from fax machines to emails. And then suddenly, now our employers could reach us at home. We could have work emails pile up while we're supposed to be not disciplined, right? Taking some time for ourselves, maybe even being disciplined in another vector than our work. And it's like a psychological thing now where if you see those little red dots next to your app, and there's like 56 of them on my Discord right now, I'm sending you love every day for what it's worth. And right, I think of it almost like pen pals at this point. I've really kind of dedicated myself to thinking of chatting on social media as more batching, I think is another word to say, but like I'm writing a letter and I'll open your letter when I get to sit down and open it and write back a letter. The instant nature of the internet and these devices have served us a lot, right? With getting busy work done, being a little bit more disciplined with our companies, I guess. But it also has this unnerving ability to take discipline away from other things. So I don't know what your fractal is, Jacob. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to discourage you from working a little bit harder at your work. I'm just tripping out that that's the fractal that came up with you sharing the fact that things are piling up. Jacob, are they paying you for that discipline? That's the good question. Slept 12 hours on Saturday. Gabadoo also vicariously sleeping for all of us. There's a mosquito circling me like a shark. I'm hearing that Donon, 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 Donon. Gabby, those dogs of yours let you sleep 12 hours, work 6 days a week, school 2 days a week, with only Sunday to myself. So I just sleep it away and then I clean. And may have had a mid sleep potty break, Doug said. Oh, okay, like he woke up through it. Omnigob. I fucking love it, right? Omnigob. That sounds like Gob superhero name. The Omnigob. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's Omnigob. Mm. I can kind of see the suit as well. Like a big O. Big O. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For real. You see it now. Oh, it makes me happy. I have to give myself mid sleep potty breaks. The bladder never sleeps. I never have to do that. I pretty much, without fail, and like this is me thinking now, I don't think I can name a single instance within the last year that I had to get up in the middle of the night. I get to just put my head down if I get to sleep, if my mind is not running, and then if I back out. It's like hitting the on and off button, basically. My clients deserve my discipline if I'm going to help them to the best of my ability. What kind of clients do you serve? What kind of work do you do? If you're not, opposed to telling us, I'm just the only reason I'm asking is because you brought that fractal up. Weirdly enough, and I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't. English is a weird language because it. Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah. Oh, really? Like I don't care from the perspective of you are not limited by or filtered through the work that you do, right? I honestly believe that you create value just by being yourself, and I try to honor that in every single person. But if you're willing to tell us, I'd like to know. Naya, Cam Bam Wham, and Backstreet Bell. Thank you for joining me too, friends. If you want a little bit of a better audio experience and potentially a little bit more of a viewing experience as well, I do live stream on YouTube at the same name, Meltmore. If you're not too opposed to it, do go and consider checking it out. Gabber, it brings ease at the thought of y'all getting rest. It's a reminder to me to be gentle with myself too. Be gentle with yourself, friends. A line that I said in the yoga today is be just as disciplined with your self love as you are with your work or your love for work, your love for yourself through work, right? Be disciplined with taking breaks. Be disciplined with spending 10 minutes of yourself. Be disciplined with meditation. Be disciplined with self love. Thank you for reminding me that we can as well, Jovan. And my dog straight up sleeps 16 hours a day. Big cats, for real. If you're wondering why the stand is moving, Kitty is rubbing up against it. Melita is here too, saying, the new setup with the tablet is now causing less connection since Melt is looking down more instead of looking at the camera. I was like thinking about that as well, actually, Melita. I was thinking about that as well, right? But I feel like it allows me a little bit more calm. Eventually, I'll just have like a HUD, like something built into my brain or into one of my eyes or something, so I can reach at right in front of me. I can look directly at you, make painful eye contact, and then read exactly the words that you say to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm doing keto again. I'm officially in keto, Melita. Been feeling good. I thought I'd, echo it again to tell you. Melita's also a keto advocate. Lozada! I've missed you, friend. Thank you for joining me. It's nice having you here. Omnigob, the OG, literally. I never have to do that. Melty, wait until you hit your mid 30s, bruh. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there is an experience to be had in waking up in the early AM hours, feeling the somberness, the quietness of the space, the world sleeping. Just saw another mosquito as well. Mm, true, Joe, but we don't get to see Melty's curiously hairless legs. Do you think my legs are hairless? They look hairless to you? Interesting. Maybe it's just the camera auto edits the hairs off of my body or something. Friends again, Loizana. I am a rehabilitation consultant for high school kids with disabilities. I help them get ready for life. I'm not even remotely surprised. But I can tell you, I'm proud of you, dude. What a trip. What a trip being willing to show up in that way for the world, for people with actual disabilities, man. Ooh, I'm getting emotional seeing all of those fractals. Thank you for wanting to be more disciplined with your work. Mel, Lawazana, devil's advocate on the tablet, looking down. I just listen as I move. I like how it flows more. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Other side of the fractal. I do want it to be calm, right? That is technically my main directive with these streams. And I felt yesterday, I was like really painfully aware that if I don't feel that calm, or if I don't feel I'm providing that calm, it kind of like messes with my self-image as well, where I was like, ew, where's the calm, bro? Why aren't you calm? And why aren't you projecting so much calm? So I am extremely calm. So calm to see Susanna, torchlighter, the mosquitoes. I put my torchlighter away actually. Well, that's not a bad idea. I seriously, and I shared this with my mom recently as well. I think, like, Spider-Man got bit by a spider and then he got superpowers. A mosquito is probably gonna be the thing that does it for me. You're like, Melt, radioactive mosquitoes don't exist. No, 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 you misunderstand. In fact, the mosquito isn't gonna be what gives me the superpowers. It's just gonna be the vector for giving me superpowers. I will get so viscerally triggered by a mosquito biting me that I will either one, develop the ability to reverse time to the point of time where that mosquito in fact didn't bite me, and then I get to wait for it, and then as soon as it lands, I get to smack it. Superpower one, superpower two, I'll have laser eyes, being able to freaking laser eyes the. If I can like spot a little mosquito in my environment, as fast as I can spot it, I can laser eyes it out of the air. Superpower 2. And this one is a little bit more comical, and it's very much informed by very old Tabasco ad. I wish dearly, deeply, that if a mosquito manages to drink my blood becomes explosives inside of it, where I want it to, and then I want to, bah! I want to hear the, bah! Is this morbid? Am I crazy for wanting this? The mosquitoes. Oh goodness, it's offensive to me. It's like the most offensive thing. Feels like I can't say stuff like that. I'm sorry. Oh, Zano, so much love. I have a neighbor that's the exact same job. Kudos to you. Love, dude. So much love. Thank you, Duck Dad, for encouraging that love too. What are those tennis racket shaped bug zappers again? We actually have one of those. We actually do have one of those. I've been using it to clear my rooms of mosquitoes. Like there's the amount of like frequency that they come up with, like literally more often than I would like to be dealing with it. It's almost like they spawn, right? Like there's some sort of spawn counter, and then every single time I come into my room, there just have to be 54 mosquitoes or something. You turn into a vampire, lol. Yes, yes. Damn good idea, Sam. The mosquito zappers. I wish they exist already. Sam, I don't know, but I have a super powered one that makes flames when you get a big one. Currently fighting a basement wasp that keeps outsmarting me. You have a zapper that makes fire when it zaps something? That is pretty insane. I want to see that in action, Doug. I'm kind of curious as well. I'm not gonna lie. I will have the camera rolling. Yes, Mel can be calm, but he's talking crazy again. I'm talking crazy. Oh, about the mosquitoes. I was like, what? Did I say something crazy? And then I was like, hey, oh, you just talked about these mosquitoes exploding, having laser eyes, reversing time. Oh, that's not things normal people say. There's something wrong with you. Oh, goodness. You just want to get back when they took from you in a bit more aggressive way. I don't want to take back what they took from me. They can take as much as they want, right? Like I think that is the joke for me ultimately, is that if I could form some sort of rule or some sort of, proper narrative with these mosquitoes, to be like, hey, mosquito, you can drink blood, all right? You have your fill around this area. You can have your fill. I'll hold my arm out even. But don't make me itch, all right? And ask. Be like, hey, human being, can I get some food for my babies? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure you can. It's nice of you to ask. But no, no assault. Forceful. No respect. Injecting their little sucking apparatus into my skin. Like I feel that's the thing that trips me out the most is the fact that they manage to go and sit on top of me and then slowly but surely using this actual biological drill to brrr into my skin until they reach blood, and then they inject me with a liquid that is an anticoagulant. Coa- Colavagelalis, yes. And then my blood is like, oh wait, now we're not gonna make, platelets in this area because this shit is dissolving us. And that, ends up wrecking my skin. I get squatted. I itch. Fortunately, and I added some again today. I got mosquito bit on this part of my hand, and I added some of Shan's Panaway oil, and it's not itching anymore. So thank you, Shan. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see a clip of the flaming bug zapper. I am 100% with you on the mosquito rage. Nah, it is okay. F mosquito. Or the mosquito gets like a really bad tummy ache and doesn't ever come back to you and tells his friends. So it's weird you say specifically that because a part of me revels, right? And I didn't let know if sharing these things are morbid or damaging to my character. Like my ego is stripping out. It's like you shouldn't. That's not okay. that's some insanity shit you're talking about right now. As I'm thinking about saying stuff, uh, I'll just share. And trigger beware. When they're full of blood, I particularly like killing them. I'm like, yeah, you might have gotten the best in me because clearly you have my actual blood inside of your body right now. But now your body is squashed between my hands. Yeah. Yeah, get wrecked. Now you're not gonna get to, reproduce using my blood, my DNA as fuel for your babies, making it easier potentially for them to then be like, oh, I like human being DNA. I am gonna go and seek that out. No, I get to slay the entities that end up actually drinking my blood. And hopefully, based on that slayethness, potentially ultimately reduce the likelihood of there being more of them that actually want to drink human blood. We already have, gene editing type of tech where we introduce, so to backtrack, gene editing can sound a little bit wacky, but there is a whole phenotype, mosquito species, hey, hello, that doesn't drink blood. It doesn't need to, because during its larval state, when it's still in the water, it eats enough biomass to completely satiate its adult form as well. And then in its adult form, its purpose is just to procreate and to start the whole cycle over again. So we could edit into our collective mosquito species the ability to digest most of their calories during their larval state, so they don't actually need to bite anything during their adult states, hopefully, potentially, ridding the entire world of the need for mosquito repellents, for I have a mosquito net over my bed again now, for the itch, for malaria. Like, so many people have died from malaria. I had malaria when I was 11 or something. We were in Mozambique and I fell asleep with my hand. Like I was like, you can put your arms around like the pillow, and the pillow was against the the bed base, and the mosquito net was tucked to the back of the bed or something like that. And with my arm being close to the pillow, my whole hand was outside of the mosquito net. And then when I woke up the next morning, there were like 25 individual mosquito bites on my hand alone. And it literally felt like I had these horrific imaginations of putting my hand in a food grinder or something like that just to like get the itch to stop. And then I got malaria on top of that. And I was like, nice. Actual parasites in my red blood cells. That's fantastic. I'm sorry if you didn't know what malaria does to you. Don't Google it. Don't do yourself a favor and don't Google it. It's a sickness that has killed a lot of people. And you know what kills people the most about it is the weird fluctuations that it puts you through. It convinces you that you're okay, which is weird, right? It's almost like it's trying to kill you. Like when you're taking the medication, it's almost like you're carpet bombing these parasites, right? Because it's like literal little worms that develop inside of your red blood cells. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like tripping me out just thinking about it. So by taking the medication, you're slowly killing off all of these internal parasites. And then what happens is people stop taking their medication halfway through because you do feel better. You unironically feel, I'm doing great. And then by 4 p.m., you feel like death again, right? It's like a type of flu, but it's like you're kind of bedridden in pain. Like it's not a vibe. And I'm just happy that I had, parents taking care of me during that time at least. Bloody elimination of the mosquitoes. Peel the sticker off the tube you're using for the body. What? Peel the sticker off the tube you're using for the body. I have absolutely no idea what that means, Sam. A fly just landed on me. Don't make me itch or give me malaria or West Nile or Zika. Please, no. None of that. Nobody wants any of that. Can you keep that to yourself, please? You can drink something else, maybe? Or the mosquitoes. Burt's Bees chapstick with peppermint oil will stop the itch and ease the bump. It's my favorite summer tip. Bees chapstick, Burt's Bees chapstick with peppermint oil. It sounds kind of nice actually. Melty Stone makes perfect sense and calm. Melty sober. Mrs. Mosquito, please ask for consent before you bite without asking. That's just assault. That sounds perfect, right? It's like, he must be some sort of drug addict. And it's like, actually, no, he's perfectly sober. Meanwhile, starts smoking weed. Makes, perfect articulate sense. It's like, is he smoking nothing right now? It's not working for him. I honestly feel like I become almost more sober in a weird way. Like not sober necessarily, but maybe present, soft, open when I'm stoned. I really enjoy it, and I really like being stoned with you friends as well. I feel like it brings out a part of me that is especially playful. But, but I should smoke less. Not only because it doesn't necessarily serve me when it comes to my discipline, but also because breathing in hot smoke maybe isn't a good idea if I do it a lot. Right? Moderation, I guess, is key. 420 blaze it and Tay Tay blue. It's nice to see you too. Sending you your friends. Since Johan said that Panaway smells like bubble gum, that's all I like very much that same fractal. Lolo again. Sending you love. The bloody hallucination. Sam, that's awesome. I'll try it in the summer. Right, Lois? Thanks for the tip, Sam. Purpose, supposedly peppermint oil and vanilla both ward away those mosquitoes. Peppermint oil. I wonder why. I think that's the thing that's interesting to me. Hey, Shirumo is here too, sending a love, friend. It's nice having you here. Corey, I hang one around my neck when I'm gardening. Still bites the hell out of me, but I can say I'm delicious. Yes. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. I feel like they're especially prolific in the gardens. It's like they live in the grass or something. I had to take anti-area pills when I went to India. I was terrible. I was terrified of getting it. Lots of mosquitoes there. Yeah, it's very much not a vibe having would not. What's a thermocell? Hey Google, what's a thermocell?
Here are some results from the web.
Apparently, it's a type of repellent, dude. Thermocell repellents is the first result that I got, Gob. That's weird. Maybe the Canadians, mosquitoes are just more polite. Yeah. They're like, they say please and thank you. And sorry. They say so many sorry. They're like, I'm sorry. Corey, are you Canadian also? True must mean send love. Believe it is chrysanthemum oil. I am Lois. Oh, being from Canada. That's true. Thermocells work so well. It's like magic. Stop repellent, I'm guessing. I feel I can express myself better when I'm stoned. Me too, Joy Vive. Unironically, me too. But with the whole discipline thing, I feel like I'm going to be expected to be able to articulate my thoughts a lot more in the fractals I'll be participating in from a sober state of mind than I will be expected to share my thoughts from a stoned state of mind, right? And I feel I would only be comfortable with smoking in a certain situation. Like, let's say I'm creating a piece of content with another friend. I'll only be comfortable smoking if we're both smoking together. But I wouldn't be able to smoke and then show up to the thing, right? One's gonna wear out. And two, I wouldn't want to continue smoking while being in the middle of the creation process. So yeah, it's a it's a trip to me, Joy Vive. I'm trying to access that part of myself without needing the weed. I don't know if that's gonna be easy or even possible, but I will be disciplined. I can say that at least. Yeah, we looked it up, and when we add fruit cup, it's essentially harmless, except boys under like 4 are at risks for some sperm issues later on, I think. With the thermocells, hmm. Yeah, that is a little bit concerning. Anything that messes with your sperm should be probably avoided. Year over year, for the last 50 years, our global testosterone and sperm counts have been falling by 1% per year. 1% over 50 years. We have less testosterone and less sperm cells than we ever have. And we'll probably see, artificial wombs become a thing in our lifetimes. And I don't know if I'm actually opposed to it, to be completely honest, purely from the perspective of the mother's safety, to say it in so many words. Sure, maybe the mother wouldn't be able to have that deep connection with her child, having carried the child with her for the 9 months. And this is true. But also, I think something like 4.5 million women die yearly to childbirth. That just sounds not okay. That sounds not okay. Try a story, and I see you, friend. Thank you for joining me. It's nice having you here too. Shannon says, think of a small gas camp stove tank with the attachment on top of it for the pad. You turn it on, and the mosquitoes are gone. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Almost like a little containerized version of itself. That's what I like to use edibles for, to extend my high when I'm doing stuff that doesn't accommodate smoking. I also like edibles. I really do. But unfortunately, I feel I don't know how to dose it properly. Where no matter how I dose it, it's still a deep experience, right? Like I'm thinking about those edibles you sent me, Joy. Like they were not ridiculously strong, right? But having taken them, I was like, yeah, I can feel these things. I really feel these things, and they felt great. I really like the feeling of edibles as well, and I feel I can really have cool conversations having eaten some edible oil as well. Maybe that's what we'll do if we're gonna be experiencing weed and stream and allowing for that kind of energy. Maybe we'll just do it with edibles instead of smoking. I can kind of at compromise. Got my mom so many edibles for her birthday yesterday. Susanna, thank you for doing that, friend. Send mom our love as well. Tell her happy birthday. Happy birthday, Zano's mom. Let's read something worth saying. I need to start transferring these. Here we go. This one is a Bijbelangelijk gemerkt ene. A very important marked one. It goes, the way of transformation is the way of presuming responsibility for time. Talking about discipline today, this thing we're saying is so beautifully apt. The way of transformation is the way of assuming responsibility for time. For time is not a prison for you, right? By scheduling hours in your day to do certain things, you're not creating a cell around yourself that you're now stuck in, but it flows. It is that which flows out of your very consciousness, right? And sometimes it just flows automatically. Oh, where did all the time go? I know I'm like that a lot at least. And there is never a place or a time which is more conducive to the way of transformation than the place in which you are and the time that is now. Right? That you can, in a weird way, apply discipline right now. Discipline doesn't have to be this thing that you start doing later, technically. It's almost like a state of mind. I'm going to read this thing we're saying one more time, like throughout. The way of transformation is the way of resuming responsibility for time. For time is not a prison for you. It is that which flows out of your very consciousness, and there is never a place or a time which is more conducive to the way of transformation than the place in which you are and the time that is now. The time that is now. How about that? There's nothing outside of this moment, friends. That's the thing we have to keep remembering as well. All right? That we're not disciplining ourselves from the perspective of that using it in that way, right? Ah, you're gonna get disciplined. No. We are applying discipline into our lives from a deep place of love, knowing that time arises from this conscious experience. We get to choose how we spend it, attaching a little bit to yesterday's stream topic as well. Choices. So many choices, so many things to choose. Really, Joy Vive? I use cannabis through a vape all day. I would love to switch to edibles, but I don't like the feeling. I feel it's too much like being drunk. I feel way more off balance. Me too, actually. I feel exactly that energy as well, but I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy the feeling of being drunk as well. I just don't accept that feeling because I'm like, the reason I'm feeling drunk is because I'm actually getting brain damage right now. So I ruined the experience for myself. You've tried out, Doug. Yeah, like Mel said, it's not easy to know your dosage without practice. Yeah, sometimes you have to run a few trials and errors, and you can build tolerance. So sometimes the same edible might influence you differently depending on what you've been doing prior to it. Yes, that resonates so much with me. Love you. Thank you, Dry. Thank you for resonating with anything I say, Fred. It's like the fact that you can even hear the sounds I make and then interpret any of it as information. You are a superhero. So, like, time is not working against you, but it's actually there for you if you're willing to live in the present moment. Exactly. Exactly. And it's your birthright, right? Like, you cannot not be in the moment. There's nowhere else to be than in this present moment. So all you have to be is in this present moment. How about that? Be disciplined, do something in this present moment. And I feel, weirdly enough, our space as a collective have disciplined ourselves to the pursuit of love, right? A deep pursuit of love. We're gonna keep, and I shared this line with Shan yesterday, we're gonna keep changing the world little by little and then all at once. I'm gonna pull a card. I'm gonna see we're for a few seconds. I'm gonna take these few seconds to tell you I love you and I deeply appreciate your presence. Even if you're not saying anything, know that you are felt in this space, seen for the love that you bring. This one, this card, huh? Ooh, ooh. Trying to think when the last time was when we pulled it blue, huh? Love you, Melty. Love you, Susanna. So much, friend. Thank you for sharing some of that love with me too. Mm, green, green, says Susanna. Okay, okay. Blue says Corey. Love you all, says Jacob. Look at that green card. Technically, those flowers are purple, but the inside of the green, those little lines are very much blue. So it's like a green outline and a blue inline. Look at that. The green Taurus. Whew. I like this card. It's supposed to draw you in. You're supposed to follow those arms all the way into the center of that spiral. The one time I don't say green, Corey is like, fucking. Next time, huh? Next time you'll be more clairvoyant. You'll say green again and then it will be blue instead. Accept and trust. Accept and trust. Accept and trust. The green Taurus. This green, okay, so I did put it reversed. And it goes, how can you ask for the trust of others if you do not believe in yourself? Lol. And I'm a Taurus. Me too. I'm also a Taurus, actually. Ooh, that's a little bit in the face, huh? Especially with discipline. I feel discipline is, in a weird way, trusting yourself, right? Because you're either trusting yourself enough to do the thing you're applying some discipline to, as one of the fractals, or you are trusting yourself enough to, from a place of love, to set discipline into your life, right? To be like, hey, I know it's gonna be hard, but do it. Melty is a Taurus too. This is true. I am Moo. The green Taurus, snuggled comfortably within a nest of flowers, is both dynamic and passive. Its revolving magnetic spirit invites you to move into this green, shadowy center and trust where you may be led. It is the nature of the Taurus to move energy, and the energy moving here is that of acceptance and trust. Calmly allow your attention to follow the swirling arms towards the mysterious center. Recognize that you're moving through a passageway that may offer insight into the matter of your inquiry. Agree to be open to the messages you may receive and trust that you are guided from within and beyond. Use this energy of potential as a means of accessing your most pure personal truth. Accept that this could be challenging, since many of us do not trust ourselves enough to recognize authentic truth when we are in its presence. That one is a little bit in the face. Yo. Accepting that this could be challenging, since many of us do not trust ourselves enough to recognize authentic truth when we are in its presence. Try to stay in this energy until you feel self acceptance. And a sense of a message that you can trust. Sit with this knowing and have faith in what you find at your core. Gently follow the arms of the Taurus back into your reality, knowing you may better trust and accept yourself. As you learn to trust and accept yourself, you will find it easier to be trusting and tolerant of others. Respecting yourself, trusting yourself, being disciplined within self. This stream has given me a lot to think about. You friends have shared so much of your fractal with me too. I hope this experience was worthy, loving, beautiful. I appreciate you for joining me, for sharing even a moment of your time with me. Let me see if I missed a few comments. There we go. They tell us about he's an asparagus with a steak sign ascendant. I'm busy twerking. I was waiting for an I'm an asparagus. Well, duh. Of course, I'm an asparagus. Of course, you have. Taurus stellinium in my second house and a Pisces stellinium in my first house. So I think the energy being close to conjunct, all in quadrant of self, may feed into each other. Something I shared a little bit earlier in the stream, Shrumo, that I feel is apt again, is everything is a fractal of everything, right? The spiral, it's like self-informing, like the sine wave, the DNA helix, the right, and then the thing inside the thing, inside the thing, inside the thing, inside the thing, inside the thing is you. It is you. having to trust and accept some things happening right now. This card is comforting because it's been hard. You got this. Dry. I promise you, dude. You'll see this through. You'll become even more capable of being loving regardless of the difficulties you face. Even more calm in the face of challenges coming in the future as well. Mm. What's a stellenium and why do you have so many houses? Shruma was balling out of this world. I just noticed that Shruma is jacked as well. I think so, at least. That gives me some pretty visuals. I like what I did to my brains. Thank you, Jovan, for braining with. Well, you are where you belong. You are with friends and family. You are wanting love. You are home. Thank you, Corey, for sharing that. Yes, I synchronize. How are you this beautiful morning? Connor, I've been missing your energy, friend. It's nice seeing you here. Sending you love, dude. I'm doing well. I'm feeling present. I've been eating again. And it's been an experience of allowing myself the discipline that I crave in my life, if you will. Everything around me is absorbing peace, including the sky, the oceans, the trees, the people, the wildlife, and the buildings, and everything is radiating this peace. Along all the people in the world, let there be compassion, let there be kindness, let there be love, let there be peace. Everyone is becoming peaceful, nurturing, and correct thinking, right understanding, and integrity of purpose. Thank you for letting me manifest those words into this world. I appreciate that, Shrumo. Love y'all too. Love you, Dry. Love you, friends. So be it, Shrumo. So be it. Say it, see it. So be it. Have the most as beautiful as day. We have 12. We all have 12 houses in the sky. Oh my. If we're gonna get into those technicalities, all of us have all of the houses in all different fractals as all different bodies at all times. All of the time. Right? Infinity houses. Generally, yes, Shan. But you've never seen me first thing in the morning. Oh, I see, Shrumo, thanks. So super duper dearly, melting all of you friends. So, so moet het be. Is that what you're trying to say? So moet het wees? Ja, ja, het moet zo wees. Can I have an underwater house? Yes, you can, Susanna. My mind was like, is that technically possible? And then it built the fractal on my head, and I was like, oh yeah, that seems very much possible. Aquarius fixed water element house. That sounds really nice, doesn't it? I feel like there would be some Zen vibes. Being able to have like this panoramic window under the ocean. Oh goodness, that would be such a vibe. I would meditate so hard in that space. I read that as underwear. Me too at first. I was like, what? What underwear? Money? Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's always so nice having you here, being able to share some space, share some time, encourage collectively to show up with even more discipline. Thank you, friend, for being disciplined enough to be here right now. I see you. I honor you. I appreciate you so much. So glad I can come to this space whenever I'm losing faith. Please don't, dude. Please don't. Right? And even if you lose faith, hold on to that lost faith until the next day. All right? And then come back to this space and be like, you know what? I did lose faith in humanity and all of those things, but now that I came back, I'm not so sure anymore. Well, underwear is a house for your junk. That's true. It's true. I really wish they would figure out how to make men's underwear that actually works, right? For some reason, every single pair of underwear is, or at least men's underwear, is built in with a little demon that eats away at it. A shed. We call those sheds. Lose faith in people, but never humanity. Mm. You can lose faith in people, but don't lose faith in humanity. I really like that actually, dry. Whether or not someone is living in them. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining me, for sharing this moment. Again, I just want to echo this sentiment that even we talked about discipline today, right? And it's important to have discipline. Why demons in the underwear? What if you've ever, you probably have, washed a man's underwear or seen a man's underwear, you'll probably notice that depending on the type of underwear they wear, a demon is sent with that underwear that slowly erodes, getting you to buy new underwear soon enough. I had a hard day at work yesterday and just caved in from the pressure. But ended the day with a smile and laughs. Persevere and be lovely to yourself. So yes, that's the fractal I'm trying to get to. So thank you, Shrima, for bringing me back to it. That yeah, we're talking about discipline and that it's important to have discipline. It's important to be disciplined of the things you want to move forward in life, right? You can see discipline as the pushing force. This thing that you think is important, pushing it forward little by little by little, right? But at the same time, have discipline with self-love as well, right? Be just as disciplined, just as dedicated to giving yourself some time, giving yourself a moment, taking a breath, and reminding yourself that everything is going to be fine. And if it's not fine, then it's not the end, right? Joy Vive in my brain. Demon on these. How do I stop the voices? Just you can, weirdly enough, if you want to really stop the voices, start picturing them as mouse or mice. Mice, yeah, mouses. Start picturing them as mice. And then put those mice in jars. And then you can up the volume of those mice in jars. And you can reduce the volume. And to just see the voice for what it is. Right? Keep jarring them up, dude. Put them away. I love that there's an underwear emoji. Of course, there is. Everything is gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be fine, friends. Everything's gonna be fine. I know it might seem a little bit hopeless sometimes, but through our discipline, we will bring great change. At first, little by little, and then all at once. Where you find that emoji? I just returned. Where and what do I do with my underwear? You missed. The mice in jars is an unreal answer to that question. I like saw it today. There's a dude called Struthless on YouTube. He makes amazing videos. If you wanna, go and dive some deep in that as well. He shared that fractal today with me. Also, Connor, don't forget that they are all you. They never stop being you. It just sounds like others, but that's not real. Listen to them, but don't trust them. All right? Don't trust your mind. Don't trust your body. Trust the part of you that's aware of mind, of body, because that part of you is unchanging, divine in nature, ever present. And without that part of you, all of these voices would go unheard. It's you, all of you. I love Struthless. I just bought his book. Of course you did, Lois. I love him too. He's one of my biggest inspirations. Thank you. Don't trust your mind. Don't trust them. They don't know what they're talking about all the time. Right? And I like my mind. I think my mind can be kind of clever sometimes. But I don't know if I should always listen to it. Sometimes it can be a little bit ridiculous, as you friends might know. Thank you for joining me, sharing a moment. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, dear friends. I love you. Until we meet again, show up with discipline. Please, 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 please. See you again soon, Melty. How can you tell what part is really you? All of it's you and none of it's you, right? You are everything and nothing at the same time. Like, how can you make clear decisions based on love? Ask yourself, right? And you can project it into the future and into the past. When you try to make a decision, right? Whatever it is, and this can maybe like be a final point to attach to this discipline one. Ask yourself, is this thing that I'm going to do right now based on love? Is love true for this thing that I want to do, right? In this moment. And then you can take that moment and you can project this moment's impact to your future self. So 10 years from now, if I look back at this decision that I want to make, this discipline that I want to implement, will I have benefited my life or the lives of the ones around me over the next 10 years because of this decision I'm making right now? And then you can also do the opposite, where if 10 years from now, I look back, right? You can think of it in the context of the past as well, right? You can project into the future, and then you, after having projected into the future as your future self, project into the past. Are you making choices that your past self isn't proud of, right? It's a hard one. It's one that I trip out about a lot because my future self is a machine of extreme of extreme expectations, and he's like, your mind is the pawn, and your emotions be the pawn system under the emotions, but they don't run the pawn. You. The way I like to share that fractal duck dad is, you're an infinite ocean, right? And wherever you find yourself within that infinite ocean is mind. And then thoughts can be seen as little pebbles being dropped into that ocean, creating the ripples of their own. And the pebbles you throw in are going to be the ripples you feel, right? So if you're telling yourself stories of insignificance, of unworthiness, of inability to do the things you know you're supposed to do, oh, I can't be disciplined. I have all of this evidence that I can't be disciplined. Then that is going to become your reality. So be conscious of it, right? Realize that you're the one dropping the pebbles as well at the end of the day. Let's talk on Discord about that. Please, thank you, Lois, for inviting him. It's all you, Connor. The voices are your own, even if they sound like different voices in your head. It is still you. The voices in your inner dialogue come from all that you made up, that you're made up of. Yeah, it's your fractal, dude. Like you have created the conditions for you to be exactly where you are right now, right? But right now, from this moment, you have everything you need to change, to become a more full-fledged person, right? Like nothing escapes you. You have all the access to the information, you have the time, you have to apply discipline. You have to. I'm sorry, I lost my mind there for a second. You have to apply discipline. You have to. Like, I'm serious. I'm serious. At least for one thing. At least for one thing. Even if that one thing is you. Now I'm going to be disciplined with meditating for 10 minutes a day. And then you freaking discipline. You discipline. I'm going to do this. Right? And then you prove to yourself that, yes, I, in fact, can be trusted upon, right? How can you ask for trust from others? That was the card. We pulled it reversed. How can you trust? How can you ask for trust from others when you do not trust yourself? And when we like over and over again prove to ourselves that we're not reliable, even with our own hopes and dreams and aspirations and disciplines, is the whole stacking L's thing, right? It's like you're attaching a bigger and bigger ball and chain to your own foot. And all you have to do is step away from it, right? Right now. Right now. And it's a lot. It's like the infinity as your responsibility. But that's who you are. There's no escaping it. No escaping your own power. I think your future self is a head in a glass. Just like Futurama, maybe, maybe, who knows even. Connor, please reach out in Discord. Please do. Be the captain of your ship and the master of your fate. Show up for something. Show up for something. No matter what the voices say. That's what discipline is about, right? That you can do things even when you don't feel like it. I don't wanna do this thing that I've disciplined myself. And I'm bitch. I'm not asking if you want to. You know, we're saying this is how it is. This is how it is. Your voice being you. You are the healer that will make those voices into something softer and nicer. You can do it. Discord link. I don't know if my Discord. I think it is. I think my Discord link is in the YouTube as well, Shuma. You might be able to find it. I constantly question my judgment. I'm not to be trusted. I don't believe that completely, JV. I trust you, friend. I trust you enough to show up in love, at least. Finally, I'm gonna say goodbye one more time. Mm. I love you, friends. I love you so much it hurts. I love you so much it makes me angry. I'm like, fuck. Now I have all of this love, right? For people that I can't actually physically touch. How am I supposed to share the full depth of the love I have, right? Tripping out, thinking about you, friends, what you're doing, how you're being disciplined, right? Thinking about how you are disciplined and how I should be more disciplined. I love you so much. Love you so much. Minus the spaces. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I don't know if it shared the link. Unfortunately, it seems to have disappeared it on my side. Love you, Mouthy. Love you, everyone. Love you, friends. Thank you again. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.